So this is the first year anniversary of the mobile report that Native puts out. We've been very pleased with the response that we've received and the acceptance that it's had in the industry. It gets downloaded by people all around the world, which is great. So there's a lot of interest in the mobile industry in South Africa and Africa. So we hope to continue doing this, offering it as a service to the industry and as well as our clients. So some of the highlights from this month's report. Some big news from BlackBerry. Also, there's always news from Samsung and Apple, which I'll touch on. And then some interesting news around some of the brands that we all know very well and their reputation internationally. So if we get into it, one of the things that's important for the industry has been the DMMA, which is the Digital Marketing and Media Association, or Digital Media and Marketing Association. And it's its 10th year anniversary. It started off as the OPA, which is the Online Publishers Association, and a couple of years ago it migrated to be far more representative of the entire industry when digital agencies and smaller publishers became members. One of their highlights has been the introduction of the Bookmarks Awards, which in 2008, and that's really become the industry's recognition piece for great work. So they've come fairly far. One of the most spectacular pieces of news this month was very good news for Africa, where the Rockefeller Foundation has pledged nearly $100 million, which is nearly R1 billion now, to creating digital jobs in Africa. In this investment, they're looking to training work seekers to get them jobs in the digital fields such as data entry, service center support, online research, and web design. And the countries that have been focused on, there's 6. It's South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, Morocco, and Egypt. So very, very good news for Africa, and hopefully we can create some good outsource opportunities for Africans so we can become the outsource hub like India has. The great thing for us is that it's in the right time zone. You know, we're in the same time zone as Europe, and also, you know, our English is good as well. If you look at the English-speaking people in Kenya and Nigeria, our English is very good, so good news there. Some other good things that have happened this last month is that the Joburg broadband project is going live, run by a company called BWide for a 12-year period. It's going to be a fiber optic network that covers all City of Johannesburg's municipal buildings, hopefully going to get the service levels up so we can have some real connectivity between those buildings. So yeah, very good news for Johannesburg there. In other news, as we all know, the smartphone users of the world are the biggest data hogs, and of those, Android are by far the largest data hogs, or data users, let me say. Looking at about just over 2 gigs per month for an Android user, about 1.5 gigs per month for an iOS user, and just over 1 gig for a Windows user. So we all know that, you know, once you become a smartphone user, you really do start using the internet significantly more. I think the biggest news that came out this month was that BBM is now going to be available on non-BlackBerry phones and devices. So on iOS and Android, it's the first step to separating the BBM business unit out of their hardware and enterprise systems at BlackBerry. Very interesting, lots of diverse views on, you know, is it a good or bad thing? Is it the death knell of BlackBerry, or is it a stroke of genius in getting them to broaden the interface and experience to non-BBM users? Time will tell. I haven't made up my mind yet. I think it's going to be tough for them to compete against the likes of WhatsApp, but they've literally got the next 6 months to get that right, to make sure that they don't get marginalized by the pure play players like WhatsApp. BlackBerry is still a very popular brand in South Africa. Lots of, before the emergence of the BlackBerry 10 operating system, most BlackBerry users would say that their next phone would not be a BlackBerry, but that might have changed. So, you know, the new BlackBerry 10, the Z10, is the 5th largest selling smartphone in the country. So maybe there has been some shift in the perception of my next phone is not going to be a BlackBerry. From an Apple perspective, we're expecting the launch of the new iOS at the WWDC in the next couple of weeks. Lots of talk that Johnny Ive is going to make it a much flatter and simpler interface. but really they need to innovate more than just on sort of the look and feel and the design. They need to put some smart services in, like how Android has. So the ability to run widgets on your home screen, the ability to interact very quickly with your content as opposed to going in and out of applications. So that's a big step this month for iOS. And one of the great comments that came out of Mobile World Congress in Barcelona this year was the biggest wow factor for iOS and iPhone 5 was that there was no wow factor. So really they are on the back foot in terms of innovation. They haven't really innovated for the last 5 years or so on iOS, so it's their time now, and we hope that they're going to do some smart stuff.